Alright, apologies for that. Some weirdness emerged, but here we are. It kicked me from the lobby right as I hit start draft. But now we're back here on Nexus Gaming Series. Going to Division C West, Clouded Minds, returning veteran team here in the Nexus Gaming Series. Returning Division C team. Going to be going against new team 4+1, one of our many new teams this season, as NGS nearly doubled in between Season 3 and Season 4, so continuing to grow, continuing to be fun. Definitely look to join it if you're interested. But with that, we're going to have first map, Tomb Middle Spider Queen. Second map, Infernal Shrine. So some classic, nice, brawly maps. I love me some team fights. But now, with the balance changes, the bans are changing as well. And now we're seeing a first ban Diablo. Diablo taking priority here in this ban phase. Have not seen that before lately as a first ban. I take it back. I've seen it in the first ban phase, but there's been so much priority on my F. Phoenix could be banned. That actually does open up Clouded Minds. They could take Maiev here. Maiev can be very strong on this map because of the tight corridors, because of the brawly nature of it. She would be a strong first pick. The other side of it could be you're banning Diablo, expecting the enemy team to ban either Phoenix or Maiev, and you plan to take the other. Let's see where this goes. Clouded Minds, thinking about this, making sure they kind of have the hero they want. I got 20 seconds on the clock to make that call. We'll see which direction they go. This is one of the few maps where Joanna takes a very high priority as a tank because of the wave clear she can bring, but gonna get the solo lane locked down first. Make sure they have that Sonya. Sonya can be strong here as well because of the tight corridors. Again, Whirlwind can get a lot of value even into the team fights. Very strong pick. Gonna see a Hanzo come out as the first selection. Maiev's still on the table, but I don't know if you want to go 2 DPS before first ban phase, especially when Diablo's already banned. You could be choking yourself out of a warrior. If you want the Garrosh here, you can definitely take it. You know, it'd be a strong warrior to grab. So far, no supports choked, so I mean, you'd expect if you take a warrior, you won't get Stukov or Malfurion. Expecting the other team to grab one of them and ban the other. So you obviously a high priority onto the Hanzo, and he's a very strong support. Gonna get their support, so gonna get the Stukov. I respect the choice. With Diablo banned, it's a bit risky because, you know, that you could see something like ETC grabbed here and Garrosh banned. I guess you could settle, though, for a lot of supports here. Joanna can be strong here, even though she's generally lower priority support. Maiev's still on the table. Maiev can pair well with the Sonya. You would need to get one range damage dealer. But I actually would not mind Maiev Malfurion right now. Match the support. Of course, then you potentially tank choke yourself, because you're going to see 2 bans and the other team getting a tank. So maybe if you really want to prioritize Malfurion, you would need to get it here, obviously. But if you're willing to settle for something like a Rhaegar, could go into your tank. Getting Joanna for the wave clear, getting Chromie for the poke. Trying to punish Stukov, who can sometimes be a bit stationary. So if I am on the... So Maiev's still up here after the first ban phase, which is kind of a surprise given her value on this map. We'll see where this goes. You know, Stukov is kind of an interesting mixed matchup with Chromie. Doesn't have the cleanse for Temporal Loop, as we see the Malfurion band. I like the band. Doesn't have a cleanse, so it opens up options with like Temporal Loop, but can actually deal with the poke damage quite well, but at the same time can't stand still. Meaning it can be hard to get value off the silence. Meanwhile, looking at the ETC band, now Garrosh is still up, and Chromie can counter Garrosh a bit, just because Garrosh doesn't really have movement abilities. So I can actually see the reason behind this ETC ban. Further, ETC really easily sets up a kind of a Stukov silence or a Stukov root combo even, which Hanzo could just go to town with. Hovering that ban at the moment. It is going to be ETC banned. Garrosh, probably the most meta warrior left. After you go past Garrosh, you could look into something like a Stitches. Pretty strong on this map. I don't really think you could see an Arthas here. Maybe it's hit and miss. Anubarak could definitely be on the table because of the Chromie. Anubarak Stukov, a very strong combo. I want to see a warrior grab tier, and I want to see potentially the solo laner grab tier. Something like a Blaze would be really strong. And then save your last damage for kind of what healer you see, and try to counter it a bit. It's gonna be a Muradin, and it's gonna be a Tychus.
It's about damn time.
So not the solo laner. Tychus. That... I don't know if I was expecting that. Muradin can struggle a bit with the Joanna because of the high uptime on Condemn, making it difficult for Dwarf Toss to be used safely. Not to say it's impossible, but Muradin also gets a lot of his damage from auto attack, which Joanna both is resistant to and can negate. Tychus, I guess it could be good into the Sonya, but now there's double blinds, although Lucio being picked. That one's interesting. I expected more the direction of a Rhaegar, especially with the Tychus Hanzo up. I'm gonna go with the Lucio Sound Barrier. A lot of Rejuvenesca potential with the Sonya Joanna. But Cassia for the blinds into this heavy auto attack front, and now since you have to go really a solo laner here, I actually think that Clouded Minds pulled out a pretty good draft here. They have pretty strong counters to a lot of what 4+1 wants to do. What is this fifth pick gonna be? It could be a Blaze to deal with the Chromie and the Cassia. I don't really think it could potentially be a Leoric. Go with the Entomb Silence combo. Leoric is decent into Sonya. Leoric is pretty good on the map. It's gonna be the Blaze. I also respect the Blaze. I think it's a good pick here as well. Bunker. You get a lot of value, although actually with 3 melee, Combustion is an option. I don't expect it. I do expect the Bunker. Especially when Ball Lightning comes out, everyone can just hop into the Bunker to negate it. Or if someone gets Valkyried. We'll have to see. Oops. So, Clouded Minds, once again, veteran team. They do have experience here in the Nexus Gaming Series. 4+1 new. Just with all the blinds that are there into the Hanzo Tychus, I still don't really get the Tychus pick, and I still think Garrosh could have really been a strong pick for 4+1 if they went something like Garrosh Maiev. We've seen that be very strong, especially with something like a Hanzo to get the finishes. Could be a hero pool issue. Totally fine if it is. Muradin is he's not bad by any means, but he just hasn't been the meta in a while. But we'll see how it works out. We head here into game number 1 between Clouded Minds and 4+1. On the left side, it is Clouded Minds. Great Hari, the captain, going to be on Cassia. Star Knight going to be on Joanna. Swing going to be playing the Chromie. Weenus on Lucio. And go straight to bottom, Tigerfish on the Sonya. And over on the right, with Pedro on Stukov, Geek72 going to be on Tychus, Angus to Beefy going to be on Hanzo, True Bite on Muradin, and Fidel Cashflow, my new favorite name, on Blaze.
3, 2, 1.
Shave my... Okay, I'm just going to put my mouse over that for the time being, and we're just going to pretend that we don't see it. But here we go. Moving straight away, Sonya into bottom, potentially looking for something of a flanking angle. Geek72, looks like Geek72 actually going to be the solo laner into Sonya. So Blaze going to be in the rotation? Very, very interesting. Unless they want to even do something like a 1-3-1, which is very unconventional on this map. Hanzo trying to trade out. Chromie using good time trap positioning here. And already getting a bit ahead in the rotation. True Bite taking a lot of damage. Did he go third wind? He did. That's a good choice. Actually, Muradin, I can be really strong into Chromie just with that third wind. Geek actually trading pretty well here into Sonya. Sonya no longer having the block bug that just makes her immune to Tychus's. Tykai? I have no clue. But there is a good Fen damage. Silence turnaround. Pedro, though, got a bit low. Needs to be a bit careful here. True Bite intercepting that stack. But Chromie already up to 10 stacks at the moment. Just doing extraordinarily well. Joanna versus Blaze at the top. This is just such a weird laning matchup. The laning matchups are very interesting. Tychus doing very well here into the Sonya, almost securing the kill with that grenade. Sonya below 50 HP, doesn't have a tap. Tigerfish just going to have to back here for Clouded Mines, but the other lanes slowly being won by Clouded Mines. Cassie going to rotate down to cover for the time being, make sure that here comes a dive in onto Fidel Cashflow. True Bite with the Stormbolt trying to peel it out. Fidel Cashflow managing to get out because Cassie had to rotate down to cover lane. Fidel Cashflow got out alive. If Cassie were there, that would have been a dead Blaze. And it looks like now we're starting to see a bit more of a traditional rotation here on the side of Clouded Mines. So they did lose a minion or two here in mid of experience. Need to be a bit careful of that. Slight experience lead for now over to the side of 4+1. Level 4 talents coming in. We are seeing that Adhesive Petroleum, very popular choice. One good spread from Stukov. Thunderburn going to be used, so going for that. Ooh, turnaround on the Great Hari. Now there's the overkill. Grenade going to secure the kill, and Cassia goes down. First blood here in the solo lane by Geek72. Absolutely played Cassia there very well. Now Sonya has grabbed the Bruiser Camp. Going to be able to rotate in without losing too much soak. But that kill going to allow for a little bit in the way of an XP lead, as well as a gems lead, ever so slight, only 3. But now forcing 2 people to respond in bot, that's going to slow down these rotations up in the top side a lot, as Bruiser Camp going to get basically no value here in the mid. Starknight going to come in, try to push in, try to get some damage here. Leap over the wall. Here comes Blaze. Going to be able to clear this up very quick. Chromie poking over. Now Tychus did back. Muradin was covering the lane in the meantime. And Muradin going to be able to trade out. Like, he can take that poke damage from the Lucio, from the Sonya, because he can just walk away for a bit, get back to full. Third Wind is just such a good talent. Blaze now could be a bit caught out. Needs to be a bit careful. Fen not doing too much damage, though. But despite Clouded Mines falling a bit behind, they've done a much better job actually getting value and turning their gems in. And they actually have done a better job collecting gems. So despite the death, they actually have 50 gems now, whereas 4+1 does not. Now they're going to try to control the objective. Blaze going in, looking for some kind of engage. No real follow-up. Hanzo, a bit awkward position, has to back up. Pedro trying to get the heals in. Ooh, Hanzo very, very low after that Dragon Breath. Sonya carrying the bulk of the gems. Sonya definitely going to need to turn in for a phase to start. Tychus now with 49 gems. There's already a lead in turn in on the side of Clouded Mines. Ooh, Venus in a bit of trouble. Jukes without seeing it. The Garrosh charge coming in. Garrosh now with 18, big stack. Angus to beefy. Geek72 going to get his in. Sonya's still not really in a position to turn in, though. And so, you know, now kind of equalizing that turn-in pressure a bit. Tigerfish trying to hide in the bush. Potentially looking for Geek. Misses the Ancient Spear, though. Geek trying to trade 1v1. Has the minigun absolutely chunking. With that, the bigger they are. Tigerfish probably going to be a bit more patient there, recognizing the talent the bigger they are. You know, doesn't finish well. And then you could just whirlwind into it to get back up. We'll see what happens. Fidel Clash Flow going to get 19 in. That's going to leave 37. But Sonya does manage to get the turn in here on the bottom. So it is going to be Clouded Mines with this first turn in. About a half a level lead, a little bit less right now, over to 4+1, but equal talent tiers. Very interesting build out of Joanna, going with Sins Exposed, which is a talent I've personally never been a fan of. We'll see how it works. But going with that added shield glare duration. So trying to get the blinds in onto the Tychus and onto the Hanzo and make sure they stick. Very interesting build. Focusing this top lane, common practice on this map. Try to open up the boss lane. This is very often how you end the game with a boss or even a boss spider double push. But also it actually takes the longest to rotate. This kind of wall here is a little bit unreceptive to rotations top to bottom. You have to rotate a bit aggressive to get there, whereas you kind of have your safe cruiser camp rotation in the mid-bot rotation. That is once you get towards the keep wall. But top fort gonna be saved. Tychus trading out here. Geek is very, very low. Sonya gonna come in and secure the kill onto Geek. Now, is Tigerfish gonna be able to get out? I think Tigerfish is. So Geek trying a bit too hard to trade there. Again, bigger they are, it's scary, but you can't actually finish with it unless you have a teammate there to get that kill. And so now it looks like Clouded Mind, they want to go ahead and get this bot fort. Starting to back up though, there's a Storm Bolt on the Sonya, but here's the Condemn looking for the engage. Stukov gonna silence. Meanwhile though, 10's now picked up. 10's just on the horizon for the side of 4+1. We have the Ball Lightning, we have the Blessed Shield, we have the Slowing Sands, which has been up. Wrath of Berserker and the Sound Barrier. Nothing surprising there. On the other side, Commandeer Odin, Dragon's Arrow, Bunker, Flailing Swipe, and Avatar. So very, very standard picks at the level 10. Nothing too surprising. Worth noting, the Skullcracker coming in. A lot of potential bonus damage here. Really strong potential for Muradin to trade in on damage. Trade up very, very effectively. Let's see how that goes. Here come the Web Weavers. Top gonna go down quick to Cassian. No one really pushing in top. Blaze now rotating top. But this Web Weaver mid already under a tower, gonna drop pretty quick. So Clouded Mind's defending very, very well here. Here comes the Tychus trying to secure some kind of push. This Web Weaver already very low. Bunker comes down. Sound Barrier gonna make sure Chromie can get away. Now in the backup, here comes all that poke damage from Geek 72. Silence dropped onto the Chromie. Muradin jumping back. Isn't able to land a Storm Bolt to secure the kill on the Chromie. It is a 5v4 at the moment as Sonya is pushing in bot, but they are fighting under the wall. Here comes a Ball Lightning, and it's moved very, very advantageously for Cassia, and it's going to allow the kill onto Muradin. Flailing Swipe has to come out late to make sure Fidel Cashflow and Geek 72 can get out. Meanwhile, Sonya has been pushing the bottom this whole time, and Clouded Minds in a pretty good position. They defended 4+1 there very, very effectively. Got a kill, but now Sonya maybe staying a bit too long. Gotta dodge this charge. Tychus coming in. Ooh, there's Stukov. I don't see Sonya getting out of this one. Whirlwind gonna come in. There's the silence gonna interrupt it. But actually Sonya with the jukes. Very good jukes there. And Tigerfish is going to get out. Now the shoe's on the other foot as the chase is on. Condemn going to force out another bunker here, but now Blaze is on the wrong side. Slowing Sand's going to come out onto the bunker, secure the kill onto Blaze. And Clouded Minds starting to play very well. There's a big Ancient Spear on the Pedro. Stormbolt going to make sure that Stukov can get out. Stukov trying to get the healing out. Got to dodge this Chromie, but Chromie doing so much damage. August to Beefy having to blow the Dragon's Arrow at point blank range, so not going to get much in the way of value off that. And Hanzo is going to drop. Clouded Mind starting to be a very aggressive team, and it's paying off extremely well for them at the moment. Also, Chromie going with the timeout. I like that choice a lot into this Muradin. If Muradin does try to dive the back line to get the kill or to get the finish, Chromie can just time out Muradin. Now in a bit of an awkward spot, not really able to trade up in damage, and that's going to be Clouded Minds getting their second Web Weaver phase. Now with potential to get mid fort and definitely top fort. They could double up their forts. Blaze going to push out bottom, so I don't think they'll pick up bottom keep passively unless it's a pretty substantial misplay on out of 4+1. Top lane looking like it's the focus at the moment. Try to push it up. Web Weaver, though, going to spawn in the middle of the lane. Web Weaver mid going to drop very quick, but top fort going to go down, and that's really the prize here. It's always good to get mid-fort on this map just to open up more aggressive rotation options, but top lane, that's where the boss is. That's the lane where you tend to finish the game. So gonna focus the efforts there. And now wanting to go for keep wall, and that's a good choice. Keep wall worth more than a fort. Truebite gonna move up to defend. There's a big silence to defend the point, but gotta be careful because now Chromie's gonna set her eyes on the Pedro, as is Hanzo. Hanzo gonna back up. Ancient Spear forcing a Dwarf toss out from Truebite. Tychus stepping up, trading with the bigger they are, but there's the blind. Gonna stop that. Fidel Cashflow not able to hit anyone with the charge. Truebite having to jump out of slow sense. Pedro actually taking a lot of damage for that Ancient Spear. Dropping the silence toward Joanna off. Wall does go down. They're not gonna be able to get the keep. The question is the 4+1 chase, and I think they made the right decision by not chasing. So, they lost the keep wall. They're down on XP, but they didn't actually lose a keep. They didn't lose their mid-fort yet. So it's an okay situation. Actually, this could be a decent fight if they can get it. As they're going to pick up level 13s here. Got to pick the talents quick. There comes Blaze going in. Condemned, but there's the slowing sands. Fidel Cashflow in a bit of trouble here. Muradin in the slowing sands. Lightning ball coming out. Doesn't bounce too much. Stukov going to be able to passively heal that one up pretty well, but just with the Joanna, they're finding a hard time engaging with the Joanna, with the slowing sands. And actually, this is a situation where Clouded Minds is a bit closer to a turn-in than 4+1 is. They could get their third turn-in here. That was snowball pretty quick. Big Ancient Spear onto Blaze. Here comes the Whirlwind. Stukov and Blaze get decimated by the Chromie. Just absolutely taken out. Now the chase is on. Even Muradin not able to escape the pursuit of this Lucio for long. And that's going to be a boss now, started immediately. Sonya has Rattling Berserker up. Nope, it has just fallen off, but she can still do quite a bit of single target damage. Gonna move up, gonna step up, gonna get this uncontested. Bruiser gonna be picked up in mid on the side of 4+1, but now they're gonna have to defend boss very likely into level 16. Gonna be a very tough defense. And actually, boss and Spider up on top. This is synchronizing very nicely for Clouded Minds here. 4+1 moving up. They know the boss is coming. They're getting ready to defend, but this is going to be a turn-in. They're actually going to clear up the Bruiser before they turn in. I'm surprised they're not pushing with this boss. Because of how vulnerable the keep is, if they turned in and pushed with boss, they definitely could have gotten the first keep of the game. Open up that top lane as a win condition. Next time they win a team fight, they just go there and win. They're going to not push with the boss, save their turn-in, though. And they're going to pick up mid-fort. I think this could work out, because now that when they do turn in, it's going to spawn the spiders pretty deep into both lanes. But I just think getting no value off the boss maybe is a high price to pay for that. We'll have to see. Gonna focus here on this bot lane with the spider web. Potentially looking for bad rotation to grab. We'll kind of see how this goes. Bot lane gonna push up pretty far now. Spider actually gonna go all the way to keep wall. So they are gonna aim for this bottom keep. Meanwhile, top gonna be cleared up a bit. So they're giving up on top keep. They're going to try to push in on bot. Odin going to come in for the defense. Probably going to try to get into a poke war here with this Odin. A lot of gems being carried here by Geek and Hanzo and Muradin, so they need to be very careful. Keep down to half. Here comes a big silence, trying to force people out. Slowing Sands, though, being a good zoning tool. Fidel Cashflow trying to look for some kind of action on the back line. Here comes Truebite stepping up with that Avatar. Tigerfish in a little bit of an awkward position. There's the stun, but the rest of the team separate out. Chromie going to secure the kill on the Tychus. Fidel Cashflow now just trying to get away, as is Pedro. Ball Lightning going to secure the kill with Chromie onto Stukov. And now there's potential to end the game. Certainly they could take mid-keep. With Tychus and Stukov down, they definitely can look to end. Big Fend coming out. Condemned going to interrupt it. Bunker has to come down, but Blaze now in a bad position. Blaze trying to get out of the bunker, but Muradin going to go down, as is Hanzo, and this is going to be game number 1 going to Clouded Minds. Even back and forth game up until level 10, and then Clouded Minds, once they got that slightest advantage, just continue to press it very well. They're going to take game number 1. Clouded Mind over 4+1. 4+1, welcome to Nexus Gaming Series, but gonna need to show up a little bit better in game number 2. We'll be right back on the Nexus Gaming Series. Alright, and we are back here on the Nexus Gaming Series. Gonna move into Infernal Shrines. Map number 2 here. Clouded Mines. Taking a 1-0 lead on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now moving into their map of choice, Infernal Shrines. 4+1. Gonna want to adjust here. Had trouble with the Chromie. Chromie can also be strong on this map. Might warrant a ban. I don't know if a first ban, but certainly a second. We'll have to see which direction they want to go to address pressure that Clouded Mines was able to put on them late in the game. We shall see. Clouded Mines, though, did very well in that game. Definitely were able to kind of organize, I think, their calls onto kill targets a bit more effectively. See if 4+1 can kind of refocus and make sure that they're likewise trying to get onto the same targets. Banning the Chromie out, not wanting to deal with that, that was the big problem. But when you ban Chromie this early, you leave up a lot of picks, potentially, for the enemy team. Things like Stukov and Malfurion, things like Hanzo, things like Maiev and Phoenix. Looking like Phoenix ban here from Clouded Minds. I would imagine Phoenix would be pretty good on this map. Not necessarily the best Shrine Clear, but actually no, Shrine Clear would probably be exceptional because of the AoE auto attack. Plus the narrow gaps get a lot of value off things like Salvo, or you could even go Meme Beam and get some value. So gonna ban out the Phoenix. What is the highest priority? Is it the Stukov? Stukov very strong on this map, getting that strong support. Do you want to maybe get a tank early? Something probably a bit more meta than a Muradin. Maybe get that Diablo or get that Garrosh. Maybe get ETC. I doubt if a first pick ETC would happen. Let's see. High priority onto the Stukov last game. Very high priority. High priority onto the Hanzo last game. But this time I'm going to go with Diablo. They want to get that warrior that can set them up better. And I like this choice. Get something that enables dive a bit more consistently than Muradin does right now. Not to say Muradin's bad, but just if they want to play aggressive to counter, just a note that Archangel Diablo banned. Okay.
Death is beyond your reach.
Mathael Sonya.
My blades are yours.
Interesting counter. So Mathael, he's still good. I haven't seen him picked this early. Can be strong on the map, can be strong into Diablo, but you've just committed to pretty heavy melee. And, you know, if I'm on the side of 4+1, given that, I would want to go Malfurion Kael'thas right here. Kael'thas, because of the map, Living Bomb Spread, very valuable. Malfurion will do very well into all of this melee. Because you know there's going to be a tank still. I think that would be an incredibly strong rotation. You could even go Cassia if you wanted. But that's a very interesting set of first picks from Cloud9. It really sets up potentially a lot of counterplay. If you went Malfurion and banned Stukov, I think you'd really be in a pretty good position in terms of how the counter game would play out. Gonna take the Stukov. Stukov Arthas. Arthas is good into the triple melee. He's gonna slow the auto attack damage from Sonya. Malfurion or Malthael, though, his auto attack damage really isn't the key. It's the poison damage, which is pure chaos. Interesting. It's a lot of engage potential. They need something to be able to follow up with it pretty reliably. I think Kael'thas is still very, very much on the table for 4+1. Enough so that it may even warrant a ban, given how much melee you already have. Unless you're particularly worried about something else, but I on this map specifically, I struggle to see what else you would really be worried about. Worried about the Tychus, apparently. It was played pretty well by Geek27 at times. But I can see it. At this point, you can tank choke if you ban out Garrosh. You're banning out the Lucio while Malfurion's up, and they have 2 melee. I think it seems like neither team really either values Malfurion or prioritizes them. Maybe they think the nerfs hit him pretty hard. Could be the case. I'll have to see, but I mean, Rhaegar is definitely on the table as well on the side of Clouded Minds. Rhaegar Sonya, always a very, very strong combo. You'd have the cleanse as well, but you have a cleanse on Malfurion, and it's potentially an AoE cleanse, so it deals with APOC extremely well. I would go, I'd go Malfurion and then get your tank. In my opinion, Garrosh. Unless you want to make sure you get your range now. And actually, yeah, you don't have to get Malfurion. If you're planning on going it anyway, you could actually get your range damage dealer right now. Hanzo could be decent. Make Kerrigan. So another, 2 more melee. And you're going to have a tank coming down the line. At this point, I mean, Kael'thas would get Dove. Jaina would get Dove too. Jaina could turn around on this very, very hard, though. With those like, ice armor talents. I mean, you could just go try to go unkillable and just get bulk. I mean, it's risky going to mage into the Kerrigan, but I do think they want to do it. And then from there, you just want to get very strong counter engage, maybe percent-based damage. Phoenix is banned, so not him. Tychus is banned, so not him. Actually, they've done a good job of removing the top percent-based damage. Hanzo is on the table and could actually get away from Kerrigan. I'd say Hanzo Kael'thas would be strong. I mean, it'd be a bit diveable. Lunara Li Ming. I don't get why Li Ming over Kael'thas in this situation. There's 4 melee. Kael'thas would punish it a lot more with the Living Bomb. Kael'thas has much better Shrine Clear. Could be a comfort, but I mean, the Li Ming Calamity build can absolutely chunk into this kind of melee, but I just think Kael'thas would be so strong. And Lunara, you know, there's your percent-based damage. I actually think Lunara could pair extremely well with the Arthas. I don't know.
For the frozen throne.
It's going to be a Nubrak as the tank, which I am not surprised by. I was thinking Garrosh, but then once the Kerrigan came in, I'm thinking, okay, they probably want to dive tank, and Nubrak's really the last one left. I didn't expect the Muradin play. I think Clouded Minds won this draft, and it primarily comes down to 2 squishy backliners against a Kerrigan with this much dive, and you don't really punish their melee enough. I guess Splintered Spear is really going to have to get value. It is a lot of melee into Arthas, but I just think like they don't have... If they had the Living Bomb spread, it would just ruin the day of Clouded Minds when they tried to dive. Even if Kael'thas died, they would be so stacked up that the Living Bomb, especially on this map, it's hard to retreat. There's choke points everywhere around the objectives, that it would really force awkward engages. Arthas could separate people out, and then Lunara could pick people off one at a time. I don't get the Li Ming. I mean, I guess now you can break Cocoon, but Li Ming was not picked when Anubrak was up. I don't know. Well, hopefully I'll be proved wrong as we jump here into game number 2. Gonna be Clouded Minds on the left. Gonna be Swing on the Kerrigan, Tigerfish on Sonya. Weenus gonna be playing Rhaegar the Great, Hari on Mathael, and Star Knight gonna be a Nubrak. And on the right, Angus Tabifi on Lunara. Fidel Cashflow gonna be on Li Ming. Pedro once again on the Stukov. Geek72 on the Arthas, and True Bite on Diablo.
5, 4,
Got through that one quick.
2, 1.
Well, we see the teams moving towards battle, taking a look at the level 1s. It is on a Pale Horse, so going with that hyper rotation. But on a Pale Horse can actually be used to engage very aggressively as well. Nubrak going with the Rubian Armor to deal with the spell damage. Nubrak could be very vulnerable to Lunara in this game, though. Going with the extra damage on Sharpened Blades, so very much committing to killing a target quickly. Rhaegar going with the added speed on Wolf Run. War Paint over the block. Interesting choice. Into the Stukov and Lunara, I really think the block is a great pick. I know block doesn't block the poison damage, but with Giant Killer, which Lunara is almost certain to take in this situation, it can be pretty powerful. But looking around. We are seeing Arthas go for that root build. Gonna want to get some stacks on that early. Arthas gonna have a hard time in this lane against Malthael. And Malthael can actually definitely use the minions to Wraith Strike in and get a stack on Arthas. There's the first stack. Gonna trade positively there. Diablo rotating, making sure to get those souls. Bottom lane was cleared up. Sonya gonna clear this up, get the next soak. Looks like we're gonna see just the standard 4-man rotation. Fidel Cashflow trying to go for the flank. Almost manages to catch a couple people, but doesn't. Diablo already up to 20 souls though, so gonna farm those pretty well. Very important for him because of the way these fights are likely to play out for him to be bulky. Kind of just buy time for Lunara, who is on the chase onto Tigerfish, as is Li Ming. And Fidel Cashflow gonna find blind over the wall. Great kill there. Really good collapse onto Sonya in the lane, who overextended ever so slightly. But that is the power of Lunara. She can chase very well. Keeping an eye on the top lane though. Geek is just extremely low and has no mana. Geek could absolutely get killed here by Great Hari. Needs to be extremely careful. Li Ming gonna come up top. Hopefully give Arthas time to back, but that also is delaying their siege camp. Sonya actually going to rotate up into this bruiser camp. Good decision with the first beacon here on bottom. Get the pressure there. I want to see her stall the cap. Here comes Diablo looking for Kerrigan. There's Lunara. There's definitely kill potential here. Impaling Spine's going to slow it down. Here comes a new Brack now, but the silence has been absolutely huge. Kerrigan getting just enough shield off Angus to stay alive. Now Angus in trouble, and Angus going to go down. Really, really well played there to get the trade 1-for-1, and now they might actually do better with Malthael coming in. Silence coming in to try to peel True Bite out, but True Bite is going to go down. That was fantastic. I mean, that is, like, kudos to Swing here. Swing played that absolutely perfect. Survived just long enough. Managed to secure the kill onto Lunara, and from there, they were able to collapse onto Diablo. You know, that's the best way to die. You get the 2-for-1 trade, and it's actually, you know, wanting no part of this early game fight right now. It is going to be a soak race. Actually, grabbing the Bruiser camp top, and they're just going to have to deal with this Punisher. It is going to be Arcane, though. And now Malthael setting up in the bush, seeing if anyone's coming. They do have the Arcane Punisher. Kerrigan just clearing up the shrine so quick. Rotation coming down. We'll have to see what happens. Li Ming gonna poke out here with that Arcane Orb. Went with the Dominance talent, which has actually been changed recently to be percent-based, but oh, Pedro just absolutely getting dove. And that's the problem. They don't really have any counter-engage there. Li Ming is really more of a single-target mage, so when everyone just death balls in, Li Ming, not able to isolate a single target, is going to have a hard time actually getting the counter kill. And as we saw there, barely got any counter damage at all, as Stukov just got straight dove, followed by Arthas. And now, Clouded Mind, wanting to play aggressive, going to bully into this point. Li Ming can poke over the wall, but needs to be a bit careful, because once again, Kerrigan and Ubrak could just jump over the wall and kill Fidel, if Fidel isn't careful. Little 7s coming in. Nothing, once again, too surprising. There is the Splintered Spear. That's a huge, huge power spike for Lunara. That's when she goes from being a nuisance to being absolutely deadly. Rhaegar will have a tough time keeping up with it, with that AoE damage. Did go into the healing ward to help out a bit, as camps are just taken all across the map. Bottom of the half of the map, painted blue. Gonna force Angus to just sit here and clear instead of rotating, looking for a potential pick. Geek now in middle, having to dodge the Death Shroud. Pretty big push here. Lunara gonna rotate, and look how safely this rotation's coming in. They're just so concerned about the dive potential of this team. Here comes Diablo coming mid as well. Currently Sonya able to free soak top, but they have to clear this camp up. Angus trading well into swing there. using the fact that tanks are nearby. Arthur's now going to rotate top into Sonya, who's chunked these towers pretty decently. Keep in mind, the next beacon is going to be top. Geek actually doing pretty well to slow Tigerfish here, but here come the rest of the members of Blue, and Geek is just not at all aware of it. Impaling Spine going to get the stun onto Arthas, and here come the combos. Geek is in such a bad position. No one else rotated up besides Diablo, and so Geek is going to drop. Chase Sonya through the bush, lost vision. Much better rotation there, and actually Mathael going to even scare off Pedro. Level 10's now picked up. It is Tormented Souls instead of going for the Last Rites, which we've seen as much more popular lately. And actually, I'm okay with the talent choice. I just, into Stukov, I find Last Rites very effective. Oh my goodness. And they dive under tower. Get the kill on Lunara. Here come Wrath of Berserker. They're going to push up here and just continue to play aggressive. Continue to abuse these level 10s. Gleaming trying to poke out, but just not enough there. And they have to be careful because Maelstrom could come out here, force a fight off the Cocoon. Sonya still has Wrath up. Minions are walking up. Here comes Sonya whirlwinding in. There's a big silence, though. Bit of an awkward position for an Ubrak who can't burrow charge out. Here comes the stun onto Diablo. Are they going to turn this around? Looks like they're on Arthas. APOC going to hit 3, but Arthas still going to drop, and there is the Cocoon onto Stukov. Now trying to get Stukov out. Disintegrate going to be used for that ability. Lunara on the chase. There's the Impaling Spines on Diablo, but so much damage coming out from this Familiar Spear. Kerrigan found by True Bite, but no one target once again being focused. And now they've chased a bit too far out. Flailing Swipe gonna have to come out trying to save Diablo, but Tigerfish was behind the Flailing Swipe, gonna be able to trade well into it and get the kill. Masterfully turned around there by Clouded Minds, and they are starting to get a pretty big lead in this game. Gonna go ahead and get their Bruiser camp into lane while Sonya works the top. Gonna be able to self-sustain up off the Whirlwind. Yeah, just such better focus on the side of Clouded Minds at this point, it seems, in terms of getting onto a single target. And especially when you have a Li Ming comp, you really have to get that first kill, and they just haven't done it. Gonna try to potentially paint the map red in the bottom half and potentially cede this top fort to the Frozen Punisher. Just trying to generate something of an alternative threat. They are going to have double Khazras in mid. That will force a reaction. No way you're going to get a 5-man push with the 13 talents up in the top lane. But now, there is the Cocoon onto Li Ming, looking for the pick. Here comes the Nubarak, looking for the stun combo. Fidel, oh, now Great Hari on the wrong side of the wall. Kerrigan going to jump over the wall. Good disengage there by True Bite, making sure Kerrigan can get away. Now 3 people, though, on the other side of the wall, and now Fidel Cashflow still in trouble. Not out of the woods yet, needs to keep backing up. Very, very high aggression by Clouded Minds. They're going to get this fort basically for free. Punisher's still extremely healthy, and they can absolutely jump the Punisher's target over the wall. Looks like Mathael going to go off the soak, but there's still this dive potential with the Anubarak, with the Sonya, with the Kerrigan. 5-man defense here with the Punisher. Let's see who the Punisher jumps. It is going to be onto Lunara. Nubarak trying to dive underneath, just a little bit late on the burrow charge. Syndragosa trying to force the disengage here. Arthas stepping up, being a just slow totem, effectively, in front of this team. But here comes Kerrigan moving in. This is a 5-man combo point. Excuse me. Diablo getting Cocoon there, but broken out pretty quickly. Keep is starting to drop. There's a big silence into the APOC. Gonna collect Sonya. Sonya trying to get this keep down. Arthas now stepping up. Sonya on the wrong side. Ancestral gonna come out. There's a flip. Tigerfish certainly gonna get this keep. And now there could potential be a turnaround with the Tormented Souls. And here it is as Arthas gonna be the first fall. Tormented Souls all over this back line, forcing back the members, securing Diablo's fate. That is Souls, but can Clouded Mind end here? I don't think they can, and Tigerfish may have stayed a bit too long. Diablo on the chase. 5 versus 4 at the moment. Diablo finding Tigerfish. Lunara going to be able to secure the kill, and that is the first kill in a while. For the side of 4+1, Lunara still on the chase. Needs to be a bit careful of the turnaround potential with this Kerrigan. Wisely backing off, not trying to sell out for that kill onto a Nubarak. So, just catching my breath here, guys. Sorry. I was talking for a very long time there. But Clouded Mind, still in control of this game. Sonya getting picked there. But otherwise, you know, they got picked while had complete control of the map. Sonya's back up now. The only thing they were able to do with Sonya's death is grab their bruiser and potentially set up to grab their siege. But even that's likely to be contested. Nope, Sonya going to be top. So they should get their siege fairly easily, but not really able to do a lot because, yeah, you're killing Sonya, but you're on your side of the map. Now they're turning their focus onto a Nubarak. Combo missing there from Stukov. Stukov notably not, or no, did go for the root combo, so we'll have to try to keep an eye on that. Unfair advantage rather than the giant killer, and actually, now that I think about it, I absolutely love that. You have an Arthas, and you have Diablo. Diablo could go the slow talent at 16. Interesting to see Fire Devil. Very interesting to see that. Trying to counter this melee out. I definitely get why it's there. Ooh, swing, looking like the focus. There's the slow, but the stun gonna get out. But now Malthael getting focused, but the Ancestral lands just in time, and that Ancestral may have sealed the fate of that fight, as 3 people immediately get killed with all that damage from Malthael, and now it's gonna be Pedro going down. This is gonna be a 5-man wipe here. Stukov flailing swipe just to buy some degree of time, but this is a 5-man wipe. I would like to see them push up and try to get some value here. 2 catapults in top, but the rotation is long enough, the death timers are short enough. They're not going to be able to play off that, but they are going to potentially be able to push up their Khazra mid. They could also take their bruiser while working the shrine, generate even more pressure up on the top. But it looks like they want to focus this fort here, open up their rotations. And we do have Memento Mori with Black Harvest being the choice there. Black Harvest not done yet, though, so Memento Mori is not guaranteed. That said, it's fairly easy to get value off of with the way auto attacks for Malthael work now. Sonya already working the shrine, more than halfway done. And just look how cautious they're being. And it's a 4v5, and it's still a hard engage into 5 people, and they're still going to secure the kill here onto Geek, using the cocoon to turn a 4v4 into, or 4v5 into a 4v4, and they just take a bush party 4v5 and get 2 kills off it. I mean, Clouded Mind is just playing with utter confidence at the moment. They are playing so aggressively, and it's working so well. And now, here they have the Mortar Punisher. Mortar Punisher, gonna do a ton of siege damage. Not the most impactful, though, in terms of a team fight. But can get quite a bit of damage. Gate gonna come down. No one baited Punisher over the wall. Arthas and Diablo coming back up. There's no way they're gonna be able to save this keep. The only question now is, can they actually save the core down 16s? Geek gonna get dove there. Ideal target for the Punisher to get on as Lunara and Li Ming start to nuke it down. But this Punisher is at half health on the core, and Clouded Mind turning their attention there. Flailing Swipe coming up, but Geek taking so much damage here from the Kerrigan. There's a root trying to get away. Lunara getting dove by the Punisher. Now having to run. Ancestral gonna keep Kerrigan up in the middle of this team. True Bite gonna be the next to fall. Not enough healing coming out. And Clouded Mind, they should be able to move on to this core. They should be able to take it, even with Lunara poking away. There's the Maelstrom. Clouded Mind gonna take this series 2-0 in dominant fashion. As, wow, they just played really well that series. Very aggressive comp. I mean, hyper melee, and I think it could have been punished more, but there just wasn't really the focus ability. And when you have like, Li Ming doesn't do well into death balls just because it's impossible to pick out a single target. And I think you kind of saw that. Li Ming not really able to get enough damage out to punish. And Stukov was just dying so fast in the fights, he wasn't able to get the healing out. But we're going to see if we can get Clouded Mind in as I go to update their win. We're going to see if we can get Clouded Mind in for a post-game interview. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
We only brought 2 people, I promise.
Oh, and actually, you guys weren't muted, so everyone heard you. Hi, I am joined by the captain, the Great Hari, and Star Knight of Clouded Minds, coming off a 2-0 victory over 4+ Juan. How are you guys feeling?
Absolutely fantastic. That was definitely what we were looking for coming into the series. We felt confident, and we definitely played our hearts out, and I think it showed.
Yeah, very, very dominant game number 2 with a very interesting comp. I mean, it's effectively a 5 melee comp, and so you had to dive in and make sure you got that first kill, but you were executing it just so well. But let's take it back to game number 1 first. So game number 1, you guys picked, if I recall correctly, it was Joanna before the first ban phase, and what was your other pick before first ban phase? That was I wouldn't say bad, just not common before first ban. I'm trying to remember. You had the Chromie, which made sense. You had the Joanna.
We took the Chromie after after we had 3 picks in the first set of before first ban. We had Sonya as our first pick.
Sonya didn't surprise me. And then it was Joanna, which again on the map makes sense. I don't remember what the last pick was.
It was
also trying to remember.
Because Sonya first, then Johanna.
I think we picked Lucio.
Was it Lucio?
That was it. I think
you
picked Lucio while Malfurion was up, and I wanted to get your thoughts on just you as a team, because I've seen this a couple times now. Malfurion, did get some nerfs recently, and I've seen now Lucio starting to get prioritized a bit by teams. Is that something that is a response to the nerfs, or is that more just comfort for how you guys want to play?
So, a long time ago, in a land far, far away, but anyway, like, a few weeks ago, I'd like to say 5 or 6 weeks ago, was when Malf was really at, like, the peak of his, like, reign of terror. But at the very end of last season of NGS, Lucio was something we were picking up a pretty good amount, to the point where people would, like, almost target ban it off of us, and he's always kind of just stayed a pick where, like, we're willing to go there. He fits well with a couple of our comps, and he also provides really good rotation utility between top and mid lane of Spider Queen. But with the Malf nerfs, we were not quite sure whether or not we really wanted to go into the Malfurion, and rather than really like testing it out in the middle of an NGS game, we figured we'd default to what we felt was like a slightly safer pick, given the changes and how they're going to affect the meta.
All right, so you guys kind of, it was actually pretty back and forth in Tomb of the Spider Queen early on. Pretty toe-to-toe. I think even 4+ Juan maybe hit level 10 like just a second after you. But once you guys hit level 10, you kind of ran away with that. What do you think the key was to that?
I think just the way like our comps were set up, having that Johanna Blessed Shield to really set up a lot of our engages was really, really, really helpful. On top of that, Cassia really comes online with her level 10 ultimate because people have to split up to like evade that ball. Otherwise, it's just bounced all over the middle of your team. When they do split up, it gives Johanna the opportunity. Oh, I found a target. Blessed Shield, condemn. Cassia goes in, they die. It just really allows us to isolate and set up our team fights the way we'd like to. And on a map that small, usually isolations result in people ending up in weird places. So it just works well.
It was a very strong team plan. So then we went to Infernal Shrines, and you guys went a 5 melee comp. Were there any concerns, or was it just like, nope, just cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war? Like,
I mean, there's always concerns. Like, I think obviously when you're running 5 melees, it's like there's any number of things could happen to that comp, where anything that shuts down 1 melee potentially shuts down all 5. But I think we came out of the gates with the correct amount of aggression to show that, hey, even your Stukov style, instead of hitting one of us, your Stukov is just gonna die. We kind of played it well, scaled well, and this originally was just a classic Tempo Storm comp from when they played almost a year ago at Western Clash, and we kind of took it, adapted it a little bit, changed some things, and put together the comp in a new way that we like for our team. So as scary as it was, I think we have a way of like executing the comp so that counter picks don't bother us as much.
Yeah, I think the execution was great. I think the other thing was you guys rotated help very well. So for example, like Arthas at one point was chasing Sonya, and you guys, Sonya baits Arthas up above the bush so he loses vision. You guys are able to collapse Arthas, get the kill. At one point, Kerrigan gets dove by Diablo Stukov, and with the silence, but Kerrigan able to get just enough shields and grab Lunara as she goes down. That turns into a kill, a 2-for-1 trade. It was very well played. I want to go back to the bush party on that last shrine phase on bottom. You guys aggressively dove 4v5. And was that just because you had the cocoon and you just figured it, or was there, do you think maybe there was a bit of, I don't want to say cockiness, but certain boldness of like, this has worked, so at this point they don't know how to stop it? Like, what was the thought process between that?
It's careful execution.
Yeah.
The way we had to set up had mirrored the way they had to rotate through. They're funneling through a choke into an area where they have no vision.
Right.
Just that fact alone outweighs the 4v5 quote unquote deficit because of the fact that we can collapse onto one target so quickly without being seen that it almost offsets. From there, Cocoon also can snowball out a fight pretty easily, being able to take a fight almost 4v4, but it ended up being more like 3v4. We also had talent deficit. They had talent 2 deficit. We had talent 2 advantage there. And that was definitely a defining factor, given some really big power spikes like Momentum Ori at 16 for Malthael and Ignore Pain, or the other shielding talent for Sonya.
All right. Well, with that, gonna draw the interview to close. Thanks for letting me cast. I had a lot of fun. You guys definitely look improved from last season, so I'm looking forward to see what you do. Any shout-outs?
Yes, thank you specifically for casting us. GG's to the other team. They played a fantastic series. They gave us a hell of a run for our money in game 1, and they definitely knew what they were doing, and I'm really excited to see what they can do in the coming future. I'll be keeping an eye on them because they seem really strong. Star, anything?
I would like to shout out Lunchables because that's keeping me sober during this time.
I have one more. I'd like to shout out my team for being absolutely fantastic team members. I couldn't ask for a better team. So.
All right.
Well, that is very true.
Well, with that, thanks again. Best of luck this season, guys. Hope I get to cast you again soon. I'm DB Smiley, drawing this night to a close. You can follow me here, twitch.tv/dbsmiley. Also, twitter.com/deathbysmiley. There I tweet a lot about HGC. I tend to tweet when I'm going live, except I didn't do it tonight because lulz. Nexus Gaming Series is a Heroes of the Storm North America-based amateur league, although we actually do even have a couple South American teams that have played from time to time. But primarily American server. Definitely check it out if you're looking for a team. Obviously, Season 4 is underway. It's too late to join. But you can get in, be a part of the community, join some weekend events, Sunday scrims, things like that, and get ready to move into the league. League's been growing fast. We nearly doubled from Season 3 to Season 4. From about 60, 70 teams to 110 teams. And hoping to continue to grow. So check it out, nexusgamingseries.com. Also, you can support the league as a Patreon. I'd rather you support this league as a patron rather than support me through a sub button. I'm going to spend the money on booze and on hair replacement therapy. So with that, I will see you next time in the Nexus. Thanks for watching. I am DB Smiley. Take care.